Welcome to SF Commercial Property Conversations with Bruce Bean, where Bay Area investments meet expert insights. Get ready to unlock the strategies of commercial real estate success.
So today we have Hunter Drost with us, and Hunter is into the new interesting world of becoming a concierge for property managers and managing buildings. Well, Hunter, this is a very interesting business proposition you have. So I'd love to hear how you actually got into this business.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here today, Bruce. It's a pleasure to kind of share what my mind has cooked up and what it originated from. I think necessity is the mother of all invention, right? It was about a year ago. I had just acquired my latest fourplex in downtown Reno, place I've known for a long time. Grew up managing property with family and friends, this kind of thing. But really, just acquiring tenants that I hadn't placed was really my first eye-opening experience. Realizing that tenants break everything. And it just became this wonderful world of I've paid for home inspections. I know what the property is. I'm going in as wide open eyes as I possibly can, and I'm still being blindsided. I'm still having every ounce of free time I have really just eaten up by things that it shouldn't be. The toilet flapper valve is broken. The smoke detectors are missing. And I have to wonder what happened in the 24 hours from the time it was inspected, those smoke detectors go missing. But I digress. And I realized, especially in a very cap rate constricted environment, I'm sure California is the exact same as Northern Nevada. A lot of the West Coast right now is experiencing this really sharp pain point of how do you continue to invest in real estate. I'm a big fan of investing in real estate, yourself, everything like this. I think it's an incredible wealth building tool, but right now it doesn't cash flow, especially not if you look at turning the keys over to a full service property manager when you may not need all the tools that they have in their arsenal. And so I decided the thing I'd heard more frequently than I care to admit of why people wouldn't invest in real estate is I don't want to fix the leaking toilet at 2 a.m. And they're completely right. Why would anybody willfully sign up for that kind of pain and annoyance? And so I decided there had to be a better way. And if it didn't exist, I was going to figure out how to make it exist. So in my infinite wisdom, I decided if I wasn't going to find what I had, if I was irritated by my handful of units I just acquired being a pain, let's do it for hundreds, eventually thousands of different tenants through kind of a concierge model, where if you've ever lived in a apartment complex, had a maintenance number or anything like that, I thought there's no reason that shouldn't exist in the small single family, mom and pop, 1 to 20 unit investor environment. Why are we not delivering incredible service, reducing that tenant turnover that we know is incredibly costly and is cited as usually the second most frequent reason for preventable tenant move outs or turnover? That is incredible hits to the cap rate of the total return of the investment that is very easily addressable. And so we decided, why not have a 24/7 maintenance concierge line that when a tenant calls in, we know what the property is. They're onboarded onto our platform. We have a history of all previous issues. We know what's going on in the neighborhoods. We know what's going on with similar properties of a certain vintage. We have very detailed processes around how we diagnose issues. If it's a plumbing issue, great. We know exactly what step we're going to hone in on that issue. And the really cool thing, as soon as we hone in on that issue, we take this beautifully packaged and defined project, and we're able to figure out who the right batch is for that from a vendor perspective. Have you ever met somebody that you know deep down in your heart, you love and you support, but they just are not the person that should ever pick up the phone and go to Google and call a contractor?
Yes. Oh, 99% of the people I know. Yes.
It's one of those things where there had to be a better way, and it sat as like a pit in my stomach, and I just had to find something to do it, and nobody had really approached it the way that we've gone about doing it. We'll talk about how we're kind of employing AI in our business in a little bit to really refine this, but there's straight AI layers, and there's never going to be that trust element with AI at this point in time. There still needs to be a human using human discretion, matching that up with what's going on, right? We can have our computer tell you, yes, your problem's broken. Absolutely. Here's probably what you need to do. But who's there to walk the tenant through what's happening? Maybe it's a multi-unit property and we need to coordinate access with multiple tenants. How do we say, hey, we've enlisted so-and-so's help. They're going to take care of our problem and provide that reassurance along the way that really keeps tenants in place and keeps property owners' rates up and everybody just really happy. Reduce turnover, just all around a much more pleasant experience for protecting the asset and keeping property owners and tenants happy all at the same time.
That's fantastic. So tell us a little bit about how you use AI to work with this particular business proposition.
Absolutely. So I say this to everybody I possibly can. I don't think there's ever been a more incredible time to look at turning industries on their head, of disrupting anything through the use of AI. But we need to be very like diligent in how we go about doing it. It can't be the answer in its entirety, and it never will, and it shouldn't be. But how do we leverage that in a way that is beneficial to everybody involved and is not irresponsible at the same time? So what we've done is every one of our projects, calls, issues that we're tasked with solving, we take into our dashboard, we take into the live platform. And the cool thing is we employ a little LLM that allows us to build property profiles where we're able to group and bulk known issues. Hey, this neighborhood has issues with sewer lines more often than not. Hey, if you're looking at acquiring more, be prepared statistically. If the sewer line hasn't been done, you need to know that more. Where that typical boots on the ground knowledge that you might get from a really local broker or anything like that, the increase of competition, the more people there really just needs to be a centralized area. And so as more properties come on, the smarter the system gets. We're able to learn from other investors. We're able to learn from how big their bills were. And what we do is at the end of every job, we take every call note, every documentation. We received a call from Sally Mae at 5:24 in the morning regarding this issue. It was assigned to this concierge. We reached out, we got confirmation on this. We diagnosed, they went through X, Y, and Z step. From there, we decided it was something that couldn't be resolved without sending somebody out. We got a quote from one of our vetted providers that we verified contractors' licenses, that they have the correct experience and ability to solve the job and not inflate the price. We're that watchdog. We document all of this, and then we're able to build it into that live analysis of, hey, we think this job came in right where we need to, and basically just a property issue report that we're able to do. We're doing that with financial reports. We're able to do that with a little bit of predictive analysis when it comes time for year end around your property is trended with X, Y, and Z issue this year. Properties in your neighborhood have had this issue pop up. So if we're looking to make a CapEx expenditure here at year end, have we replaced the roof? A little bit of suggestiveness of if we need to deploy money for tax purposes, whatever it may be, where do we drive the information from? We're able to just build it, and the more information we have, the smarter it gets, and we aggregate it all from every source we possibly can.
So right now you're working in the Reno market, and it sounds like you're moving into the Las Vegas market very soon. So tell
Absolutely.
us a little bit about that.
Uh, you gotta start small. You gotta start with what you know, and you start with the network you have. You identify the qualities of the contractors that I've liked and worked with for a long time, that I know have done a good job, that I can vet. Um, we never are going to grow so fast in a way that we're not able to be very proud of the work that we're having somebody do. It's definitely a huge reputational risk that we run. Um, a lot of contractors are good, and there's certainly bad apples out there that if we ask somebody to perform a job and it's not up to snuff, that reflects very poorly on us. So we have a very deliberate vetting and auditing process of the work that we will kind of do the secret shopper thing. We like to see work performed through a close friend, family member of our community already, and get their real take on it. We want to put our eyes on that work before we really have them onboarded, and so that's really one of the primary limiters on growth at this point, is growing very deliberately in how we choose to trust people to carry on our brand and fulfill kind of our promise and our commitment to our tenants and our property owners.
So you have a basically a revenue stream that's based on monthly fees.
Absolutely.
So how does that go together?
Very simply, it's very clean. If the property owner wants us to answer the phone and handle their issue, they sign effectively our service agreement, which is kind of a watered down limited power of attorney to operate. They give us a preset spend limit of, I don't even want the phone call authorizing the expenditure, just take care of it. Use the best judgment to perform in alignment with the objective that we've set. So whether that's a keep cash flow very high objective, keep things very expensive, keep things slowly updated. If something breaks, just get the next step better. And so we're able to kind of very well match what we're trying to do based on kind of the parameters that they've set up and all the toggle slider controls within the property's dashboard on OneTenant.com. So from there, we're able to just really keep things very simple. It almost sounds too good to be true, but it's, you pay us a monthly subscription paid rate, cancel anytime, tell us to stop answering the phone calls, and we do.
So you're web-based, it sounds like. The one property, OneTenant.com is where everybody goes. They sign in, they do all their work from there. The revenue goes through that platform. It's kind of a whole web-based situation.
Absolutely. We built it to be very accessible from a property owner perspective. We've deliberately not created tenant access to it, where you may be familiar with a tenant portal or anything like that. We wanted to leave it very open architecture and very property and investor centered. So the request goes in. So let's say, Bruce, you got a property. What give me an example. We'll walk through this together.
Okay, yeah. So we've got 22 units at 348 Fourth Avenue in Redwood City. Well, how do we set that up?
Absolutely. You're going to go to OneTenant.com. You're going to click that big, beautiful join now, sign up button, and it's going to walk you through. It's going to ask you what kind of property are we dealing with? Single family, multifamily, beautiful, 22 units. I'd love to work on that. So from there, we're going to say, great, we've got an address. Is there anything we should know? Like, is there things under the hood that we're going to find out at some point that helps us influence what we need to know? Is there a history of, oh, I've got this stubborn plumbing leak that's going on? Just a little property background. From there, we're just going to say, who should we potentially be answering a phone call from? And so we'll ask for just a very boilerplate name and phone number of the current occupants of that building. So we're able to know that it's not spam or anything like that, and we're not spinning our wheels. And from there, we'll say, how do you want to set up your authorization for us to act. This all takes less than 5 minutes from the time you create an account, sign up, and onboard your first property. You say, maybe I want to do $500 for plumbing leaks or $1,000 for appliance repair, anything like that. You just set your sliders, able to toggle them at any time, and that's pretty much as simple as it is. You enter a credit card, bank account, ACH, whatever information you want to pay with. We're happy to process that, and you sign our service agreement, and congratulations. You say, I'll either introduce you guys to my tenants, or I don't even want to talk to my tenants. You have their contact information. OneTenant, can you and your team please introduce this service? We'll shoot a text, we'll give them a quick phone call and say, hey, Bruce has asked us to help become a partner, come alongside him and helping to address a lot of your maintenance concerns. We want to make sure we're delivering the best value we possibly can and experience for you as residents of this building. We're here to help. Direct all your calls through us, and we'll work with Bruce. They've given us the power to help them and make things happen.
So I'm curious, the call coming in is through caller ID, so you can ideally identify who's calling and where they are and what property and what unit. Is that a separate from the website software, or is that part of the website software?
So it's all going to be logged through the website at a certain point, but it's not routing itself through the website initially. Just we have some other systems that allow us to filter out a lot of the unwanted stuff. And so as soon as we have that ticket, it's getting entered in within seconds. It's connected, but it's not going through the website by any means.
Yeah. So that's cool. All right. Well, you're expanding into Las Vegas. It sounds like maybe your next market is to come into California.
I mean, I'm trying. California is definitely a market we want to be in, but a market we want to be very careful in, especially in landlord protections, and that we don't put our foot in our mouth or step in the wrong pile, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We want to be very diligent in making sure we're not violating any laws in how we're doing this, and that we're able to not put any of our property owners at risk, that we know exactly what the guardrails are that we have to offer. Nevada's been a very wonderful place to pilot this and get this going. But my hope and my dream is we will become a household name, and in every state and every major investor rental market, there will be a presence, and will be as simple as, instead of saying, are you using a property manager? No, we're using OneTenant, and that is just understood of what they're doing.
That's fantastic. So I look forward to talking to you again in 6 months and seeing how things are progressing. So where can people find you, Hunter?
Absolutely. OneTenant.com. Start there. If you're a service provider, we'd love to talk to you. If you're interested in working with us and helping us deliver on our commitment to keeping property owners and tenants as happy and satisfied as they possibly can be, and everybody working together, we'd love to connect with you there. If you're a property owner looking to offload the headache, OneTenant.com. Click the join now. If you need a little bit more information, OneTenant.com. Hit the contact us page. A member of our team would love to sit with you, walk through a demo, and tell you a little bit more about what we got going on. And if you don't want to hit the computer yourself, we'll walk through and we'll onboard with you. We will enter the information if you want to onboard, and from there we'd love to help revolutionize property maintenance for you together.
That's fantastic. Well, I look forward to talking to you again.
That's a wrap on today's journey through the SF commercial real estate scene. Ready to share your story? Visit sfcommercialconversations.com/guest. Your insights could lead the next conversation.